Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
No.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Michel.
Okay, so thank you to everybody and welcome. So today we are talking about batch management, and it's you see? Yes, there is a problem with I have to change how I would like to afficher mass.
Please, those who are just coming in, please mute yourself. Okay, please mute yourself so that we don't disturb the others. All right, please, immediately you enter, just mute yourself. Thank you. Mr. Adel Hyde Howl. Yeah, please mute yourself. Mr. Ade Yield. Please mute yourself, Mr. Ade Yield.
Masquer le mode présentateur.
Mr. Ade Yield, please mute yourself. Yeah, I think it's correct now, Michel.
Yes.
Mr. Ade Yield, please mute yourself.
Okay, so, sorry for this.
Yeah, Michel, can you mute Ade Yield? Mute him because he's.
So as I told you, we are talking about batch management today. When
Michel, can you mute everybody, please?
Mute everybody. Je peux peut-être allow Tommy. Sorry. Where are you, Tommy?
Peut-être en bas. C'est pas en alphabétique.
Tommy.
Ouais, on clique sur les trois boutons.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, it's okay. Perfect. Well, so just to remind you, for the people who joined us at the first webinar, some reminder. Oh, with a little. Sorry. About peak production cycle. So here you remember we have the gestation phase, lactation, post-weaning, finishing, and the slaughterhouse before the departure to the slaughterhouse market. So if we look at the length of different phases, gestation, you know, pregnancy is 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days, that means 114 days. Lactation is from usually 21 to 28, but today we are especially talking about 28 days lactation. And then we have the weaning and the return on oestrus. We are speaking about wean to first service interval about from 4 to 7 days. So and if a sow is not pregnant, we have a return at 21 days after insemination. And if we look in another way on this cycle, you can see easily here that we have a 20 weeks length of cycle. So 16 weeks, 16 weeks from pregnancy, 4 weeks for lactation, and around 1 week for, sorry, I have to allow people. That's all. Okay. So, and 1 week from wean to first service interval. So, when we as I told you, when we win at 28 days, the reproductive cycle is 20 weeks long. And when we divide this length of cycle, we can work in different group or batches, and it's the batch management. So I have to allow somebody, I think. No, it's okay. So we are talking about today about this batch management. What I mean by a batch management, it's for a same group of animals, we are manage the same task at a period of time. That means when the sow are winning, for example, a group of sow are at winning, we are winning all the sow, or the sow will be also in another week on AI. We are working on this group of sow for AI. And the animals are at the same part of their cycle. So it's important for the sow, but we will see later, it's also important for the offspring. We can manage also not only the sow, but the offspring in batch management. Sorry, I have to allow. As I told you just before, we can manage the sow and the offspring in batch management. And the advantage, and which are quite important about this, is that in a room for each, we have a room for each age. That means in one room, the animals are at the same physiological phase. We can manage also in, all out system. That means that I entry the animals in a specific room, and they go out at the same date all together. So it's all in, all out system. It's easier to feed. As I have the animals of the same age, I give the same feed for all the animals in the room. And the other advantage of the batch management, when I have specific room for each physiological phase or age, I limit contamination among animals of different age. I know that when I have specific room, I have the contamination is going usually down for the oldest animal to the youngest, but with the management in specific room, I limit this contamination. And by the way, as I work in all out system, it's easier to clean room after every animal's exit. So I can manage also healthy my farm. So it's why it's quite important to manage in batch, to have a batch management system. So if I look in the batch, in different, batch management in 21 weeks length, the first one is 3 batches. So I have a week interval by 7 weeks. And if you multiply 7 by 3, you find 21. So it's quite logical. If I look at the return on oestrus for this batch management, it's uncycled. So the return are not in the cycle of the batch management. So that means that when they come, the sow are not pregnant, they are not inseminate in the same cycle than the other. So to manage this system, the specificity of this management is that you have to perform very well in fertility. And if you look at the weekly organization for different week, we have a week with winning. Of course, the week later is a high. Then we have a week with no specific task on the sow. Then we have a week for farrow. Then 3 weeks without any specific tasks, sorry, and then winning. This kind of management is mostly for the small herds less than 70,000. Up to or more than 70,000, it's a little bit difficult, and also it needs some more invest than other ones management. We can manage in 4 batches with a 5 weeks interval, and if you multiply both, you can see 20. So that means I have 20 weeks. It's right. But by the way, the specificity of this management is to have 6 weeks interval every cycle to achieve 21 weeks for length. The return are also in cycle, and the weekly works organization will be the following: a week for winning, then the week later we have high and following, then 3 weeks without any specific task. Then again,
Michel,
yes,
just a moment, please. There is some complaint that people cannot hear you. I advise all these people that you cannot hear. Michel, please restart your apparatus.
Restart mine.
They should restart. No, the people that cannot hear you, please restart your apparatus, because it's not a general problem. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Please restart your apparatus so that you can hear Michel, please. If you have a problem with hearing, please restart your apparatus. Thank you. Please go on, Michel.
Okay, no problem. So you can see in this kind of management, you have a very intensive work period for 10 days from winning to follow. It's very intensive period of work, but you have then 3 weeks without specific tasks. So it's a specific organization of work. And to be honest, usually it's for herds and less than 200,000. The most usual or useful batch management is 7 batches with a 3 weeks interval. The advantage is that the return I cycle, you understand very well that if I have week 1 on A high, the return will be on 3 weeks later, and it's still AI week. So it's why I can show you just here. We have a week for winning, a week for A high, a week for following, then I restart winning, A high, follow, etc. So it's very easy to manage, and each week is for a specific task in your sow herd. So it's very useful, and it's quite common, and it's easy to manage also for herd, absolutely for herd less than 500,000. And now we can see in Europe some herd that manage with this system until 700 or 800,000. The other batch management is 10 batches. It's also for 28 days winning. We have 3 weeks interval every cycle. And of course, it's two weeks interval. The returns are in cycle, of course, and the organization is a little bit, on my thought, a little bit hard, because you have a week for winning, then followed by a week for, we have a week for winning and follow, so it's very intensive, then AI, so it's a little bit like the four batches management. You are 10 days, very hard, but you restart again the week later with winning and follow, and then a week for AI. So it's a very intensive work period. So you need, it's not so easy to manage, and it's for sure for herd more than 300, but less than 600,000. And then you have the weekly management, 21 batches. So, and this one, you have every specific task every week, so it's easy to manage. It needs workers, but it's of course for herds that more than 500 souls or more than 700 souls. So here you have a draw with the whole organization of the batch management in 7 batches. You can see the week on the top of the drawing. And you can see easy, if I inseminate on week 1, the return will be on week 4 at the same times when I have the insemination for batch 2. The scan usually will be on week 5. Then for batch 1, I have the entry in the farrowing room on week 16. Then the farrow on week 17, and the weaning on week 21. Sorry. And you can see that when I win the batch 1, it's just before the entry in farrowing room for batch 3.
Michel, can you go back, please, so that I make it clear? Yes. Just to be clear for everybody, week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until are the weeks of the year. Huh?
Yes.
So week 1 is the first week in the year, week 2 and consecutively. Yeah. So I think that is understood by everybody. Yes. Thank you, Michel.
Yes, thank you for the precision, Tommy. No problems. For sure, you are absolutely right. It's like a calendar, but I look at it on the week number. It's exactly like a calendar. So, but if you look at the bound structure or organizations, it's just what I tell you just before, that this kind of calendar give me an idea of the bound structure or organizations. As I told you, I need 2 farrowing rooms to manage well this batch management, and I need 2 mating rooms or 1 mating room for 2 batches to allow me to have a good organization. And I need 1 barn for pregnant sows, and it is 1 barn for 4 batches. And I can also have a look at the organization for the offspring, and with post-weaning and fattening. And in the same way, you have the calendar of the different week. And when I win on week 21, the piglets, if you post-weaning on the same site, are going in a post-weaning room for 6 weeks. Then they can go on a fattening room. And if you look at the length, you can have an idea of how many barns you need in terms of post-weaning and in terms of fattening. And you can see here, you have the first answer for fattening, that for batch 7, the batch 7 in fattening is going in the room 1, so it's the same room that the same room that receive the pigs for batch 1. So that means in this example, I need 6 fattening rooms. I just give you a detail later. So post-weaning barns structure, 2 or 3 post-weaning rooms. In this example, I need only 2 post-weaning, and 5 or 6 fattening rooms. In this example, I take 6 fattening rooms here. So you can see here the first when the piglets exit on the first on the post-weaning room number 1, it's just before the weaning of batch 3. So you can calculate what places or which structure you need according to the batch management. But what usually I do for farmer, I think I need to change because, okay, I would like to give you, sorry, I share with the good file. What happened? No, sorry. No, it don't open, so I have to go to take it. Sorry. Sorry. Why I don't find my Excel? I have a problem with the Excel. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I can share my Excel file. Ben non, je sais pas. I don't know why I can share my Excel file. So if I can't, I just explain you. I'm sorry.
Michel, you can. Hello, Michel.
Yes.
You can find it on your screen. If you find it on your screen, then you should be able to share it, huh? Oh, wait.
Now it's okay. Sorry, I don't know why it not works before. So here, you have I have a spreadsheet to calculate the number of places you need according to the size of your herd. I take an example with 105 sows. When you win 12 piglets in 7 batches, I need 9 places for quarantine, 5 places for the girls before hay. For mating room, I need 35 places, pregnant room 63, following room 30, post-weaning 360, and fattening around 1,000 places in a 6 room. So this is a calculation spreadsheet, but I can change as I would like. For example, if I change for 200 and I can say, sorry, up 210 and for 12.5 piglets win. So it gives me the number of places need in this herd size and according the target in win piglets. So it's quite easy, and it's very important to know is your farms is adapted for the management you want to put in place. So I came back, sorry, to the PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, so when you want to move in a 3 weeks batch management, how to proceed? The first step is to define a plan with the different steps. What I mean by this, it's important to determine when you want to start and how you are moving in the calendar. So and for this, it's important to know if you already have heard when or at which date you have inseminate all of your sows, and to absolutely define the different steps on the batch management. Then, after that, you have also look at the different barns for the compatibility. It's why I use my spreadsheet I just showed you before, because it's important to know if you are in capacity to manage the herd according to the batch management you want to put in place. After that, if my barns are the barn structure is okay, I define the plan how I want to move, so I can start. Sometimes it's important to postpone a little bit according, for example, the different period of everything else. But when I decide to start, I have to start by winning at the same days to organize the batch number 1. And then every 3 weeks, I need to win again some sow to organize them in a group. Then, as I told you, winning every 3 weeks. And what is quite useful, it's to use progestagen. I know it's this hormone is not allowed in every country in Africa, but it's a very common hormone, and it's very useful to organize the group of the sow, and especially to introduce guilds in the batch when we want they have to the guilds have to move. So in conclusions, I would like to say that 3 weeks management or 7 batches management is quite easy to manage. It's a very, very most common and easier batch management. It's efficient for work. As I show you, it's you have the specific task in different weeks. It's also adequate for many types of barn structure, and we can organize very easily the barn structure in this kind of management. It's adapted for small or large herd. It's also very important. And what is also quite important for me, it's easy to organize or to move in this specific management, but it's also easy to move in another batch management. For example, if you increase your herd. So it's very, very it's why I very like this kind of management, because it's the most easily for me. So that's all. Thank you for everybody for your attention, and now we can move to some questions if needed.
Yeah, thank you, Michel. Thank you very much for your wealth of experience and of your teachings and all the information you have tried to convey to us. So right now we will be open to questions. I see Mr. Geoffrey is already on with a question. Please unmute yourself and ask your question, please, Mr. Geoffrey. So yeah, whoever wants to ask question, please, you can indicate, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. I have one question about the batch farrowing. How do you control the issue of hormone imbalance of these sows, in case there are some of them does not go along with the plan that you, at least after winning, maybe within 7 days you can breed again? How do you do you control that to avoid the overlap?
I'm not sure to have a good understanding. So if my reply is not right, don't hesitate. For me, what is quite important, it's first to, as I told you, to know exactly at which date you have inseminate the sows. After that, I know where they are normally following. And in my plan, when I want to move in a 7-batch management or another batch management, I already do on the paper the different group of the sow according their date of insemination. It's right that in some cases I can have some sow when I start that will be only 20 days or 21 days lactations, and other ones, for example, 35 days. It could be it's a possibility, but never mind. I do it because after I absolutely sure I move on a 3 weeks management, and the length lactation will be from 24 to 28 days.
Mr. Geoffrey, is that are you clear? Mr. Geoffrey? All right, until Mr. Geoffrey comes back, are there any other questions, please? Now, a question, Michelle. In terms of management, what is the main difference between the weekly system and the 3-week system in terms of management? Can you give us a quick advantage and disadvantage between the weekly system and the 3-week system?
Yeah, it's a very good questions. How I can say that? In my opinion, a weekly system, it's more accurate for big herd than for small herd. Why? It's about what I told you in the middle of my presentation. When you move to a batch management, what do you want? You want to do some specific task at the same period, and you want to manage also the offspring. So if I manage, for example, a herd from 50 sows in weekly system, it's difficult to have specific room for each age. But if I manage this herd in 3 weeks system, that means that I have seven sows, yes, per batch. That means around 70 or 80 piglets per batch, or more, 90, why not? And it's easier to manage the offspring in different rooms. In terms of work, to be honest, I think there is not so much difference. The main difference for me is to manage health in a weekly system in small herd. The advantage for small herd is to manage in 3 weeks or 7 batch management.
So in essence, what you're saying, Michelle, is that you can manage the health of your herd better with the 3-week system compared to the weekly system. Is that correct?
Yes, especially for small herd.
Especially for small herd.
Especially for small herd. I mean, for herd less than 200 sows, it's easier to manage in the 3-week system.
Yeah, okay, I understand. This is very clear. Okay, there is a question on, there's a message that's been written so that HP, whoever it is saying so that the ghee or the sows that don't come on heat on time, all right, what happens to them? Do we wait for the next batch, or what do we do? That's the question from HP.
Yeah. How I can say? Logically, yes. But when I have or I meet this kind of problem, I have to analyze. Is it a specific problem or not? What I mean, you can have some sows that don't come on it just before just after, sorry, the winning as usual, because they are coming on it on farrowing room. So I have to look at what happened in farrowing room. In other, in some cases, it's other reason. So I have to analyze. But yes, by the way, logically, when a sow don't come on it in the week of AI, I'm waiting to put it 3 weeks later. But it arrives that she's coming on it, for example, not the week of AI, but 2 weeks later. It's arrived. In this case, I inseminate the sow and I put them in the next batches. But I have to pay attention to take care that she is farrowing 1 week earlier than the other sows. But it's, I pay attention to always manage in 3 weeks, but I have to adapt according the different case of sows. Hope I'll be clear.
Yeah, I think it's clear enough. So practically, you can inseminate, and the sow will go on the next batch, as long as the sow will farrow 1 week before the other group.
Yeah,
it's very clear.
I can have another case that the sow don't come on it 7 days after winning, but 14 days. It's the same case. I put it in the same group than she is coming, but at the winning, the piglets will have 21 days and not 28 days. But never mind.
Okay, yeah. Michel, please unmute Mr. Jeffrey. Unmute Mr. Jeffrey. He complained that he's blocked. He's muted, so that he can refresh his question. Mr. Geoffrey, can you find him? Okay, yeah. Okay, hello. Mr. Geoffrey.
I think now you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I failed to respond to your question because of this. I didn't get him very clear about my question. Can he just few minutes repeat?
You didn't get the
response. Yeah.
Okay, can you ask your question again, please?
Yes.
I was saying that in case of the sow that has a problem of hormone imbalance that cannot go with the plan. Yes.
Okay.
How do we manage that one?
What do you mean by hormone imbalance?
For instance, you have 5 sows that they are going as batch, but 1 or 2, yes, they misbehave. They don't return the cycle within the planned time, like 7.
Okay.
Yes.
I think, Mr. Geoffrey, it was answered in the previous. It was like the question that Michel previously answered. Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, you put it in. Yeah, Michel, please.
You put it in the next batches according when she's coming on it, and as as examples I gave just before, if the sow is coming 1 week later than usual, in this case you put it in the batch in the same batch, and she will the piglets will be weaned at 21 days. If she is coming 2 weeks later or 1 week earlier, she's going in the next batch, and all the piglets will be weaned at 35 days.
35 days.
We have to manage like this to be sure that we keep the weaning every 3 weeks and for each group.
Yeah, Mr. Geoffrey, I think that is very clear now. Huh? So now over to Mr. Salakia. Please unmute yourself and ask your question, Mr. Please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tommy, and your colleague for a nice presentation. Most of the presentation is basing on artificial insemination. You're not, it's not natural mating. Now, if I have a batch of, let's say, 10 cows or 20, now I have already planned that maybe this week will be for insemination. But around here, artificial insemination is not that common, so we have to use natural mating. How many balls will I need? Like if I have a 10 batch cows, and I'm using the 7 batches 3 weeks system.
Michelle, is that clear?
Not exactly. Can you?
Yeah, he's asking. He's saying that in this part where he is, because we are talking about artificial insemination. Artificial insemination is not so common where he is, so he has to do natural mating.
Okay.
So, how many balls will be needed for a batch of 10 sows every 3 weeks?
For 10 sows, 3 balls are necessary.
3 balls. And in what frequency should those balls mate?
Yes, to be honest, when you use natural insemination with boar, you use the boar every 3 weeks in 3 weeks management for sure. It's not so much a problem, but more than 3 sows per boar, it's difficult. So it's why I prefer to recommend and to advise 3 sows per boar, because in case you have a problem with the boar, it's still possible to inseminate or to have a natural insemination with boars you are in good condition. Less than 3 sows by boars, it could be difficult. So 3 sows per boar, it's a good equilibrium.
Yeah. Okay, so the proportion is 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Yeah, is that clear, Mr. Sharakia?
Yes, it is clear. Okay, if I give experience around here for my farm for natural mating, I can do like 3 matings for 2 days. Maybe today twice and tomorrow once. So is he recommending the same? Like let's say for 1 to 3. The boar will have to mate like 9 times.
Michelle, the question is how many times in natural mating, how many times should the sow visit the boar?
I think,
on the average.
With a boar, you can inseminate or you can mate the boars and sows every 24 hours is sufficient.
Okay, Mr. Sharakia, is that okay with you? So as long as there is heat, standing heat, you can inseminate the sow every 24 hours. Is
So
that
the
okay?
recommendation is the
Once a day.
recommendation once a day.
I think
Okay.
with board twice a day is not necessary. You can move to 1 time a day is sufficient, because with board logically it's quite precise, and if you have a good one, normally it's sufficient. But it's why I recommend once a day. So if the sow is still on it and accepts the board the day later, no problem. It's okay.
So it's also, your bore has to be also be in good condition, huh? So
Yeah,
it's not
of
just
course.
having a bore, it's having a good bore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Sarakia?
Yeah, that's fine. It's clear. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And there is another good question online on the messages. Someone is asking, Victor Blavo is asking, how does this apply in a contract grower scenario? The batch management, how does it apply in the contract grower scenario? Like,
What do you mean by this?
I think he's talking about grower production farms, huh?
It's I think it, when you start a herd, it's quite simple, and it's the same thing when you increase. You want to increase the herd by buying girls. You have to define when your barns will be okay, and after that we go in a retro planning. We look at the plan to define exactly when we have to deliver girls, and at what time, which week we are inseminate them, to be sure they are in the same group than you want. So it's quite easily, but we have to do a plan for sure.
So practically, what I think Michel Victor is asking here is, how does the batch system fit into with a farm that is growing, that is breeding fatting piglets? I think that is the question here. Huh? For fatting piglets, for a farm that is breeding and selling piglets for fattening.
If you sell piglets, so you how I can explain? If you sell piglets every 3 weeks. So that means your fattener have to receive them every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks.
That's the same conditions, and to be honest, it's better to him to receive every 3 weeks than every week.
Yeah.
For health statutes, it's quite better.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's perfect. It's the best system for this kind of system. Yeah. Okay. In the absence of more questions, I think we have to put on end this webinar. Okay, I think Michel, thank you very, very much for your time, for sharing your wealth of
you're welcome
of knowledge with us. And will you try to shed some light on what you have for us next time, Michel, please?
Yes, we thought about the it's October 13th, as I mean, I thought, yes.
13th, yes, yeah, correct.
And I think we are talking about nutrition and some words about especially gilts nutrition, and then we will see for the next time later. But,
Okay.
we are speaking about nutrition. I think it's also quite important.
Yeah, guilt nutrition.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, so thank you, everybody. And I will also want to ask a question here. The mode in which you are communicated the links. Please, you can unmute yourself now. Unmute. Can you unmute everybody? Michelle.
Yeah.
So that yeah, I wanted to do a. Yeah, the mode in which you are coming, you have the links. Is it? I think is it okay for everybody? How? Please, you can comment. You can comment. Just one after the other. Hello.
I think everybody can.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Who is that?
Yes, Septura from South Africa.
Oh, you're from South Africa. Nice to meet you.
Yes, yeah, it's sun, this side.
Okay, you got it on time, and you were able to link easily. That is the question.
Yes, sir. Yeah, everything was clear.
It was very clear. Okay, good to know.
Yes,
Good to know.
yes, thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Any other person wants to comment? All right. So I think Prozi is talking.
It's me, Surakikia from Tanzania, from
Yeah.
Arusha, Tanzania.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for a nice presentation and for your
Okay.
generous time to share with us. I linked it very well, and everything was fine.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. I'm we're grateful. All right. Okay. In the absence of more comments, I think we have to put this to an end. All right. Until